Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, or welcome to yet another fine edition of MetoHistory. That's right. We are slightly late. My apologies. I'm dealing with the pergola and a few other things that are not going up properly, which is pissing me off for some reason. But regardless of the factor, we is here. I'll be sending out guest invites for those who wish to participate. I have more Summer of Love gaming with Metokur. That's right. Back with Meta the Dawn. So we'll be doing more of his. I've already selected what we'll be covering. It will be God Mode and a few other different questionable games back in the yesteryears of what pissed off Boomer versus Tech. LOL. What is my volume down? Please tell me it's not that case. No, it's a pergola that I'm having issues with. It's metal and all that kind of shit, and it's just refusing to go into its proper slots. It's really stupid. It's really fucking stupid. I wish it was tech related, but it's manufactured product, and it's just not sliding it. No, I'm joking. Oh, I get it, but. I know normally what will happen. My audio will just be really fucktacular. So I just wanted to make sure nothing on my audio end of things that was being problematic. I'm dealing with enough problems as it is. Apparently, I yes. God, Jesus. Anywho, share screen. I want. What do I want? I want this one. The game collections part one from the Meto lineup. That's right. Here we go. So as you can see, I have ran through a lot to get to here. So we're gonna go through this. We're also gonna do the Mega Man clone that upsetty skitty what's his fucking face Metokur, and there's probably something else. And Sparky is now
Upsetty. What?
upsetty spaghetti.
Okay. Who's
You've
upsetty
never heard
sketty?
the phrase upsetty sketty?
Yeah, but who's upsetty sketty?
In this case, it would be Mr. Manicure. In this case, for this time frame that we're going to be popping in from the yesteryears. So you probably don't
Oh,
remember.
is this about talking about Money Number 9?
We'll go eventually into that one too. We're going to be
Okay.
doing God mode first, and then Mighty Number 9, and then there's another thing that comes afterwards.
I was gonna say that's back during what's the correct days?
Yes,
Right?
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hey, Jemax, how you doing?
Not bad.
That's good to hear. I've been fighting a
Jim
pergola.
Max Mod.
I know, right? He kind of did. I've been fighting a pergola, and it's pissing me off.
No, that was just me talking into a can.
That's good. Like tomato can,
Can of booze.
a can of beets. What
Can
kind
of Arizona tea.
Oh,
Pecan.
we have Deadpool doing what Deadpool does best. Oh,
up,
geez,
Deadpool?
Mighty Number 9. Yes, what a shit show that was. Yes. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's do it. Pause when I need to pause, but we're just gonna roll right through.
Oh, hello! Welcome to Hades. That's hell in a toga.
God Mode. Seems like a cool game. If you've actually checked out the trailer, it just came out on Steam recently, and you'd think it'd be fun. It kind of looks like a survival horror arena shooter, up to 4 people playing together in co-op. You're fighting off the bad guys, you got swarms of them coming
Honestly,
at you. Seems like it'd be...
this. Why does Raid Shadow Legends look like has more effort put into its logo than this game?
Raid Shadow Legend does have more effort put into it than in God Mode. Yeah, hell, even the game, which is pretty much watching the sprites kind of do some weird jiggle physics and a bit of spin around poses to run up against whatever enemy, to run back or flip whatever magic spell across whatever, has more than this video game did, and Jim
You're
Jam.
talking about Upbound?
Yeah, I know, right? Jim Jam over here ends up talking about it, but he did put a lot of hopes and dreams into something that had an interesting premise, but it also kind of goes to show the gamer mentality that we're all fucking stupid easily baited.
Yeah, well, we've been saying that for how long now?
Oh God! Ever since I've been saying it for a fucking long time. Hell, even before Jim became internet aristocrat. Jesus fucking Christ! We're
We're
fucking
heroes,
morons. We're
people.
easily baited. Fuck. Anyways, oh, haha, so true. Yeah, see. Anyways, let's continue.
Great, right? Well, we have this guy in our group, Siggy, right? This is him, and occasionally we'll buy each other games. This time around, he bought a
Fuck.
4-pack. He
He is special, and from Bolivia, of all places.
bought a 4-pack for himself, Hack, Jules, and myself. And we were going to get together tonight and play this amazing game. This game we saw the trailer for, and we were hyped for it. We thought, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be a good game.
Wait. You got jailbaited. You got jailbaited. No, I never did get jailbaited. Sorry. But yeah, no, I've always been very I kind of question speculative on games that come out. It's like, I don't know. You have to be a solid, producer of games for me to throw money down.
So he dropped, I think it was $40, $35, $40 for the 4-pack, and it unlocks and we play it. And so there we are. We jump into the game. We're all excited. We're fucking around with the menus and the options. We haven't really checked out the community discussion page. We haven't really heard anything on Metacritic. We didn't really
Well, that's where you fucked up.
look into it. We were just, we're gonna go in guns blazing, fuck it, because that's how we.
Oh, you mean Jim? It's fine. Everybody gets it eventually. But no, I mean, as you can hear the tale there, Deadpool. Some other guy picked up the 4-pack. So it was for him and 3 other dudes, Jim included. And yeah, it didn't turn out the way that they expected it to be.
Roll. That's how we video. And so we jump into it and we start playing, and that's when we start to have trouble. So I'm just gonna put this out here. This is gonna be me bitching about this fucking game.
No shit.
If that doesn't interest you, that's cool. Don't listen to it. I've got another video that's gonna be coming out in like a day or something. That was what I was planning on putting up this weekend. But this actually pissed me off legitimately.
No shit.
For a couple of reasons, and I can't.
Jim.
It's mostly with the dumb fuckers on the community page. It just blows my mind. If you were around, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting flustered already. I'm going to put up some video so you can see what the game looks like while I'm talking about it. Okay, I recorded this earlier. All right, this is me playing it. So you can make your own judgment. All right, I'm playing it legit. I'm not, goofing around, fucking
No, he's not playing legit. He's goofing around. It's all lies, Jim.
around to make it look bad. It actually, when you look at it, it looks like a very nice game. It does. It's very, it's a good-looking game. And it looks fun, too. When we saw the trailer, that's what interested us. We're like, holy shit, there's like a lack of really good co-op games out there. And so anyone that, comes along, we're always interested in jumping to. And it's usually the same fucking shit. It's a racing game or a fighting game or a shooter. So this was, again, similar. It's a shooter, but it's third person. And so we're like, fuck it. It's we're looking for a gauntlet substitute, and this was the closest fucking thing we could get to for now. So we're like, we're all psyched. So let me get this this bad boy ready to run here. Get this fucker going. So this game is, I believe, published by Atlas, and it was developed by Old School Games, and I'll get to those fuckers later. So here we go.
Well, that's the problem. It's Atlas.
This is God mode for the PC. I'm playing this. Obviously got it through Steam. All right, we're in the game. So, like I said, as you can see, it's a fairly decent looking game. Do a little melee attack, flailing around like an idiot, just trying to.
I kind of vaguely remember this game. Wasn't this kind of like a shovelware based game? Because everything about it feels like shovelware. Am I wrong?
I feel like it's supposed to be a medieval game. Why has he got a modern gun?
Yeah, that's why I was kind of. He's got a, he's got an Uzi, and yeah, everything about it just doesn't feel right. But it also feels like shovelware.
Show off a few things. You can do rolls and running, basic shit you'd expect in third person. Kind of can zoom in a little bit. You got 2 weapons, primary, secondary. I've got a shotgun and an Uzi. You look, you've got health and a shield displayed in the upper left-hand corner. Upper right-hand corner shows you your weapon selected. It's ammo, and the little bar above that's a rage meter. Essentially, you fill it up by killing enemies, and then you can activate an ability. So here's how the game's structured. You walk into an area, an arena, and it tells you the, I guess,
Wait, who's Atlas? I've honestly never heard of that developer publisher. Atlas Games. Oh shit. I know they're an older dev team, but I forget what they've done or have done. I can look it up for you. Give me moments.
the modifiers for what's going to
I'm
happen.
gonna break all my shit.
And each little area you go into, that glowing statue will tell you kind of what's going to happen. And then the enemies flood in, and you're shooting them, and it's a fucking good time. Look at them all exploding, little XP popping above their head. And here's really where my complaint kind of starts with this game. Like I said, as you can see, it looks like fun, and with more people, you have more enemies. It's a little more hectic. Oh, by the way, that's the rage ability I have, which is basically just heals myself. You can see a little red aura around my character, and it will constantly regenerate his health. So even if I take damage, it lasts longer, and you can upgrade that later on. I'll kind of show that off. But the game, it's structured simply. There are pickups everywhere. They're color-coded. Red heals your health, blue restores your shield, and green gives you ammo. So anyway, it looks like a good game. It looks like it's fun. It's hectic. You got enemies coming in from every direction. You got more people. You might be running for a pickup and your friend steals it, and you're gonna kick his ass later for it. Whatever. It seems like it'd be fun, and it would be. But this is one of those games where its potential is it's never realized. It's just this huge fucking letdown. And it kind of starts in this first level. This is the first one you can select. Another way of putting that would be level 1 of 5, because there are only 5 levels. That's all you get in this game. Now, I'm used to games having a short structure. One of the games I recently played with a couple of my friends, and it was really good. Even though it had glitches, even though it had its issues, was Sniper Elite Nazi Zombie Army. That was a fun game. Granted, it had a limited amount of levels, and it was similar kind of in structure. It's this horde mode, you're taking on all these enemies. That was fun. Those levels were long. That's kind of what, that was a trade-off. Yeah, you only had a few levels, but they were sort of long, and so it was enjoyable. This game, on the other hand, feels really short. This first level, when we first went through it, when we first, did our first run-through, whatever, it took, I'd say, 10 to 15 minutes. And that's about the same amount of length you're going to run into with each other level. In total, when we played this game, from start to finish, it took us 2.5 hours. And that was with us fucking around and taking breaks to go get snacks or whatever, and checking out loadouts and equipment and everything else. I mean, really, when you get down to like brass tacks, when you look at how long we played this game for, we played.
Yeah. Unfortunate that was the. Most people complain about a chintzy game being $80. That was shovelware back in the time frame, and we never pitched a bitch on a $40 game. I'll be honest. A lot of the games were pretty much trash back in yesteryears. This came out in 2013. This particular game in question. This is it here. Looking at Atlas USA, I get nothing. If I go into the old school games, we get this lovely list: The Dragon's Prophecy, Through the Mist, Chains of Time, and all kind of questionable games. So yeah, a lot of them were relatively decent in price, I would say. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, and Atlas. These are the same people that I know they've made some other games prior, but honestly, Atlas USA is just they just put a rubber stamp on anything. To be honest, because they really don't produce anything. Well, actually, they don't really make anything. These hire studios to make shit for them. That was the core issue. I think they're also responsible for like maybe a Mega Man game back in yesteryears for a crossover for like PlayStation or something. I can't remember, but I know I've seen their logo before in other games. So I'm gonna switch back over to Metokurism.
Played it for 2 hours. That's it. Now you might be saying, well, it's an arena shooter, or it's a survival game, and part of the enjoyment, and this is some of the shit I was hearing on the community page. Part of the enjoyment of this game is grinding. You know, you replay that level over and over and over and over again, and you get new abilities and you get new items. And that may be true. That could be fun. You know, and in some games that really does work. But not in this one. And the reason it doesn't work in this one is there are no branching paths, there's no alternatives, there are no secrets. It is what it is. The first time you play it, it's going to be the fucking same as the last time you play it. It doesn't change, it doesn't vary. If you set it on a higher difficulty level, you're going to have tougher enemies. That's about it. We played through on the bronze setting, which is bitched here, I admit. That's the easy setting, right? We tried the first time, I think we played for like 5 minutes, we did silver, and we just ate through the lives, right? And again, this goes back to what the community page was saying. A couple of people on there were saying, oh, well, no, you got to ratchet up the difficulty, and that's what makes it enjoyable to play through.
No, it isn't. Those are lies.
There was like a miscommunication when I'm talking to these people on this fucking community page. It's not that I don't enjoy a difficult game. I don't enjoy, oh, that's fucking cigar, by the way. That I don't enjoy, like a difficult game, a tough game. I do. They're fun. But what's the point of replaying this? I'm not gonna fucking see anything different.
You can look after. You can look into Atlas after. Well, I can give you the answer now. I've actually looked into them while we were watching, Metokur complain. So Atlas is also responsible for bringing out lovely games like Persona, Bonk's Adventure, Persona 4, the Wacky Races, and so on. So they've been around, pushing out a lot of different types of crossover games, games that hit our list. They have a lot. They have quite a rigid history for Nintendo Arcade, TurboGrafx, and so on and so forth. So, as the producer side of things, they are well known, but the studio that they picked wasn't. So, yeah, that is the unfortunate truths. Unfortunate truths. There we go. Continue.
And again, I can't explain it. I can't explain why I liked Sniper Elite Nazi Zombie Army and I don't like this fucking game. But I don't. It looks good. The enemies are cool. It seems like it could be really great. But it feels like a letdown from the start to the finish. It feels like they cut corners and they thought, you know what, fuck it, it's good enough. You know how many boss fights are in this game? 3. There are 5 levels, there are 3 boss fights. The last fucking level you play, in order, if you started from the beginning to the last, there's no boss fight. It's a 10-minute level, you run to the end, and that's it, game over. No cutscene, no, way to go, good job on you, just that's it, done. And to me, it feels like a big fuck you to the player. I don't like this trend recently, and I've noticed this over the last couple of years, of ultra-short games with no real, emphasis on replayability. And that's somehow excused. When I went to the community forums and I'm talking about this, the answers I'm getting are just mind-boggling. And don't get me wrong, I played indie games, I played short games, and I can be content with that. One example I can think of is To the Moon. Yeah, it's just fucking RPG Maker looking game. I was fine with that. It was a good game. It had a nice narrative, it wrapped itself up, and, I got what I expected. And I'm not bitching because it doesn't have replayability, because I'm not expecting it. But with this kind of game, I expect it. With this kind of game, I expect there to be something to keep me coming back. This just feels like it was...
Jim, lower your expectations.
Lazily done. And that blows my mind, because when you look at it, you've got these the perspective on these environments. They look huge, they look nice. You've got enemies that are just rushing at you. It looks like everything's there to make a great game, except for the length, except for the levels, except for the bosses. I can't understand, from a development standpoint, why you would create levels that don't have a capstone to them. Why you would have 3 boss fights but not 5 if you have 5 levels. That doesn't make sense to me. Why would the last level you play, which I think is Basilisk Pit, why would that be, 10 to 15 minutes long, and then that's it, done, game over? That just feels like a slap in the face. And I can't...
Why do you need a backflip? It barely has a proper,
No, I said a no basilisk.
Sorry, basilisk. That's another issue. No backflips, no basilisk, no anything good about this. Like I said, it feels like a shovelware game.
can understand the mentality that people who defend that and say, no, you don't understand. You have to play this game on every difficulty setting. You have to beat it completely, max out every single thing you have, and then you can bitch about it. Fuck you! Fuck you, man. Why would I do that? That's my complaint in the first place. There's nothing drawing me back into this. And again, I've played games like it. One of the more recent ones, like I said, was Sniper Elite Nazi Zombie Army. I had a blast with that. We played the shit out of that over and over and over again. And it felt more polished.
I mean, he's not wrong. You play the game even 10 minutes in, not even, and you see some issues, you have your complaints, and you don't have to go like, oh, you have to play it for 100 hours before it gets better. Jesus fucking Christ. These are the same people that believe that Bethesda's space game is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then after it was all said and done, they realized that they were fucking wrong. Ah, Jesus Christ.
The levels were longer. It had, even for an arena shooter, I get it, who gives a shit about the story, but it just felt like they gave a little bit more of a fuck. And that thing, man, it had problems. It had technical issues and what have you, but it was fun, and it had a kind of pull to it that made you want to go back and play it again. This game just feels so quick. It feels like, here are 4 or 5 locations, pop through your portal, get to them, kill everything there, maybe fight a boss if you're lucky, and then that's it, game over. And it just, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. How you could put this much effort into a game to make it look like this, to come up with the enemy variety that you have, and this concept of modifiers, and then not put the actual fucking effort into creating levels that feature that and show it off. Why create all these assets and not use them? That boggles my fucking mind. Why have 5 levels and only 3 bosses? Why are there not 5 fucking capstone fights to each of those levels? It would make sense. That would seem to make sense to me. This last level that you're going to and there's nothing there. That blows my fucking mind. You go do your gold rush. At the end of each level, essentially what happens, whether there's a boss or not, is you go through a gold portal, and then you have a little area you can run around for anywhere from, I believe, 20 seconds to a minute and a half to pick up gold to spend on gear that you're going to upgrade later on.
Uh-huh.
But, I don't get it. Going to this community page and listening to these people defend this, especially when there were other threads there talking about technical issues. Now, I get it. A game launches, it's going to, occasionally have issues. But there were a lot of people complaining, saying they couldn't even get it running, and trying to kind of tackle and figure out, well, okay, what exactly is going on here? And a lot of the fucking snarky little replies that were coming from people were just, I don't understand it. The replies they were getting made it seem like the people responding had some personal stake in the fucking development. People were saying, I can't get the game running. And the response they got was, oh, well, who fucking cares, man? That's your problem. Doesn't mean anything. It's not the developer's fault. Well, I would tend to think it might be the developer's fault if you have a bunch of people complaining about it. When I created this, I created a thread basically asking, hey, is there anything else, right? Are there any other branching paths? Are there any other bosses? Is there any variety? What would entice me to replay this again? Kind of what's there? No answer. And instead what I got was, you can't criticize this, it's indie, and they fell back on this defense, like somehow that excuses them. Oh, they're independent, or oh, it's a smaller game, or oh, it's only $10, so you shouldn't expect quality? What? What kind of argument is that? I just don't get it, man. I just do not get it. You know what? I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit in the footage here and show you at least what the boss fight looks like on this first level. And so when you take all this into account, when you take into account the attitudes and the ideas that were presented on the Steam Community Hub by gamers, or the short length of this game in general, when you add all that up, it's just, I feel displaced. I've been gaming for, 2 decades now, 20 years. It's a hobby I love. I've always enjoyed gaming. It's something I find fun, I enjoy it. But it just seems like the attitudes today of gamers, of the consumer, is that everything is permissible, everything is acceptable. If a game is unpolished, if it's broken, if there are glitches, that's fine. If it's unfinished, if they cut corners, that's fine. If there's restrictive DRM that ruins the experience and makes it difficult for an actual legitimate purchaser to play the game, that's understandable. If there's 482 pieces of DLC, that's just Capcom. It's like people in general just, there's no pushback anymore. Everything is acceptable. Everything's permissible. You have no right to complain about anything. And so I look at this game, that's 2.5 hours to complete, and I'm asking myself, why would I want to play it again? You know, what entices me to come back and play this? I'm sure the enemies might be a little more tough. I'm sure I could put some modifiers on my gun. I might get a new, a mask to wear. But those are empty, shallow things. Those don't add really to the gameplay. You know, I'd rather have 10 more levels than 14 heads I can put on my character. I would rather have 5 more boss fights than, 2 more weapons. I want something that's going to extend the experience. I want something that is tangible, that I can sink my teeth into to really enjoy. So when I get together with a group of friends and we're gonna fuck around for an evening, it actually ends up being an evening of gaming, not a 2-hour interlude where we just go through the motions of fighting an enemy here or there. Like I've said, I've played games like this before, where you're dealing with hordes of enemies, where the maps are segregated into chunks. Recent ones like Sniper Elite or Syndicate. And even those felt more polished. And my god, they had so many problems to them. But this game, I hate this feeling of, here's all this potential, here are all these art assets and, enemy types that never got utilized, that never got used. And so I'm expected to say, well, that's acceptable. It was only $10. Oh, why should I complain? Oh, this is the Gold Rush I was talking about. This is how the game ends, by the way. No boss fight, so there wouldn't be a giant Metokur, but the very last stage you play, 10 minutes long, 15 minutes long, and then you go right into this and it ends, and that's it. And you're just expected to change the difficulty setting and do it again. What? There's just nothing pulling me back in. I can't stand it. And so...
He looks like he's Pac-Man.
We got done
Not
playing
wrong.
this.
Wonka,
And I was
wonka.
like, I can't, this game sucks. I'm really pissed off. I feel like I got bamboozled. I feel a little fucked
Where's the
over.
fan pellet?
Well, not me personally. Cigar was the one
There
who
it is!
dropped fucking money on this, so he got bamboozled.
God.
But somebody
Thought they
pulls
would
up a
make
trailer
one.
and they're like, oh, you've got to see this. This is a behind-the-scenes look at the people who developed this. These are the people that made this fucking game. And it's almost comical how
Are they
stereotypical
artistic?
and cliche this really ends up being. So I'm gonna cut from this. I'm gonna go over to that because you have to see this.
Hi, I'm Katerina, and welcome to Old School Games.
Uh-huh.
This is the most cliche shit
Wow.
I've ever seen. It's like a hipster convention was held in their fucking offices and they accidentally filmed that rather than do a tour and show people that actually worked there. You got the one guy with those spacer tribal earrings wedged into his fucking earlobes like a retard. You got, black rimmed glasses and everybody's all
Like a
hipster chic.
retard.
It's like Reddit came to
They-
life
they-
and
they are
decided
very
to live in old
artistic.
school
Some
games
sort of
fucking
retard
studio
there.
facilities.
I mean, I bet you most of them are from a certain Norwegian, environment. There's going to be a lot of special individuals there. A lot of them. Oh God, inbreeding is a big thing.
But it gets
I just
better.
I
Oh,
just
God.
find it funny. Like I said, the game looks like it's set in like a medieval setting.
Yeah,
But yet you got an army guy with a fucking gun.
yeah. A zombie monster-looking army dude that
Looks like it's
shooting it easy.
back in Roman times. Honestly, it's really weird.
Is that an
Helmet.
Uzi? That's a good question. That seems like a marketing campaign. Is this an Uzi?
It is.
I
It
mean,
is.
What movie is that from Rogue?
I forget.
Mel Gibson from America.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ! Like I said, I forget.
yeah. I was like, I know that line, but I can't remember where.
Jesus fucking Christ, God! With all the
And you guys are older than me.
dude. Do you know how
No,
many
you know
movies
what
old
movies we've
people have
watched.
seen, and you want us to remember every fucking thing?
That movie I haven't watched in a quadruple.
I've
decades.
seen it
I haven't
maybe
seen that
once,
movie in, like,
honestly, wasn't my
7
my
years.
religious movie.
I've seen that movie
I
in
mean,
7
it was an
years.
okay movie, but it wasn't great. So you're asking.
Yeah,
a lot
no,
about
I
that
mean,
one.
I have a hard time remembering all of the actual.
When was the last time you watched that movie? I'm betting recently, but
Mm.
It's said 7 years.
Again,
That's more recent than us. So we saw it when it came out, probably.
yes, and I never looked back.
I think I saw that movie when it came out, and that was it. The only thing I really remember that movie is where the guy crashed and they all stood up in the meeting and like, shut the fuck up. We're having a moment here.
He's like,
all I remember is
he's
Jaws.
awfully. It's like, is he dead? It's like, oh, he's either dead or he's really calm.
I'm gonna go with really calm. But no, all I remember was Jaws, 3 guys on a boat, throwing chum, chit-chatting away. It was supposed to be the actual real scene that they actually did, that they were really actually getting wasted. And yeah, shark comes up, and they go, I think we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yep.
Or my
Smile,
personal favorite,
you-
at the end, you know,
Smile, you
yeah.
son of a bitch.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, I kind of forget a lot of different things. Like I don't remember everything from Free Willy, but I remember the scene where the killer whale is supposed to jump over the kid
and falls on him, and that's the end of the movie.
No,
Yeah.
that was that skit from something else. Like Family
I
Guy.
know, but yeah,
But I know it's much more funny. No, that scene
Expectations.
was special effects. It was almost like a modeled scene. It was a weird scene. Also, it brought light to aquariums being no bueno.
SeaWorld being a piece of shit. I
Yes.
mean, yeah, no shit.
So
Shocker.
I know, right? So yeah, they also
Animals that live in ocean, in giant oceans, reduced to pools the size
Pools,
of your
water,
backyard.
yeah.
No, I never would have imagined. Never.
No. So yeah, even releasing them into the wild was not really good either. So they were fucked either way. But yes, let's continue. We're almost done.
When they talk, I love how they talk.
Most downloadable games look like they could be played on the phone,
So Russian.
and we wanted to do more than that. We want people who play our game to get a visual experience that compares with the stuff
What happens if these fuckers were from Ukraine? Explains a lot.
they buy in stores.
I don't know if he's trying to sell me a video game or a plutonium-tipped nuclear missile. What the fuck am I listening to? It's Grigory here. He seems like he's like a fucking slave trader. It's just that voice and
He probably
these fucking
was.
Czechoslovakians making video games. This is fucking War Z all over again. It's worse than that because they're all hipsters. You add Eastern European and fucking hipster together and you get God mode. And it's just like lights went off. I suddenly understood. I mean, look at this fucking guy in his little fucking scarf. Really, he looks like he's trying to audition for a boy band, rather than fucking One Direction, rather than make a video game. They're just it's almost like they're putting on they got into video games for the fashion sense. I don't fucking get that. That's really weird. But it's just they all seem like fucking posers to me. Yeah, I look through the Wikipedia page to see what they've previously done, and it's a subsidiary company of Saber Interactive, whatever. But the games they have to their list are such classics as Battle Los Angeles. That was a gem. Time Shift. That's another great game. Oh, Inversion. That's another fun one too. So I don't know. Maybe I'm out of my fucking mind. Maybe I'm just old and I just don't like video games anymore.
You're
Maybe
old,
this
Jim.
is how video games are supposed to be: short and unsatisfying, no replayability, and if you say anything, you're faggot. I just don't get it. I expect more.
Just like
You,
most Americans
you
out for
forgot.
short
You
and
forgot
satisfying.
what I was gonna say. You forgot something though, Jim. Short, fat, and unsatisfying.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That sounds like every housewife out there that has to look at their man.
Expect better. I wasn't expecting the world. I get it. It's an independent title, sure. It's a $10 title, sure. They have budgetary constraints. They have time constraints. That's understandable. But get the fuck out of here with this, half-assed 5 levels, 10-minute long things. I'm not going to play the same thing 482 fucking times. If I wanted to grind and be crazy, I'd play WoW. I'd be in an MMO, not in an arena shooter. If you want to draw people back in, you need to have levels that interest them enough to make them come back in. This modifier idea, at first glance, it seems really good.
Uh-huh.
And it is. It's kind of fun. It's neat. But I think they use that to cover up the lack of actual length to the game. Like, instead of having 40 levels, we'll instead have one level and 40 modifiers. You know, because then it's the same thing, right? Well, no. I don't want to walk through the same fucking hallway 92 times. I don't want to fight the same spawn of, 32 enemies precisely before I move on to the next portal. Well, so fuck it. I mean, that it is what it is. I think this game is lazily done. I think they cut corners. I think it had potential and they pissed it away. And I wouldn't be surprised if 5 months from now there's going to be a shit ton of DLC for it. And I wouldn't be surprised if people will just eat it up because they're desperate to shove as much shit down their face as they can and say how delicious it is. But I expect more from gaming, and I'm getting fucking tired of constantly getting fucked in the ass, of constantly being given short games, unsatisfying games, games that were promised to have certain features and don't, games that were promised to have certain potential and don't fulfill it, DRM and DLC, and what the fuck happened, man? What the fuck happened to video games? So E3 is pretty fun, right? I mean,
So it's pretty easy to understand what happened there, Jimmy boy. Normal, but I did find something that would probably help him up a little bit. Yeah, he needs to lower his expectations. Jesus fucking Christ! Gaming is way broken and gets.
It's been broken for years, and just
Yeah.
now is the indie industry starting to be like, "Fuck you, we're gonna fix it somewhat."
But yeah, no, we had shovelware back in the time frame, and like I said, that game looked like it was shovelware, and nothing new, unfortunately. You just pump out a game, you get people to buy it, you walk away because it's done. You don't have to go back to it. People are going to defend it because they want to defend their purchases, not really being honest about that they fucked up. It is what it is. But here we go, mighty number 9.
if you're like I am, you probably sit around with a couple of friends, maybe you get online with a few people, and you generally enjoy the fuck-ups. It's almost guaranteed. It's been a running tradition, I'd say, for like fucking 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer, maybe a decade or so, where at least one or two of the press conferences, maybe all of them, are going to be fucking abysmal. There's always something that goes wrong. I mean, it could be a technical issue, it could be a terrible presentation, awkward host, bad games, bad technology. It could be a myriad of things. Whether it's Shiggy up on stage with a malfunctioning Wiimote, or somebody at Konami's press conference awkwardly staring at the back of somebody else's head, But generally, it's fun. You get a couple of videos out of it. If you looked on YouTube right now, you could look up E3s from, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, and you're going to see some funny shit. Generally stuff that touches on the theme of that year, or the biggest fuck-up.
You mean when people actually cared about E3? Before they decided to try to make it a bi-monthly experience because of COVID?
Of that year.
Well, not only that, emphasis on the buy.
Yes, I know. I know.
What was the name of that fucking cringe ass bitch?
There was quite a few.
What was her fucking name?
Well, there was Frosk, which was pretty
Frosk.
questionable. Yeah.
Frosk. That's who it was.
Yes. I could have slowly went through the list as my brain kind of remembers each one of the cringe-inducing individuals of both male and female. But yes, Frost was the notorious one. Over time, she went back to a G4, and they tried to do the remake with that. That didn't turn out very well for her. Ooh, or them, to be honest. But anywho.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
$99, Ridge Racer, attack its weak point for massive damage, shit like that. But of course, because gaming has been fucking co-opted, that one joy that I had, that one thing I liked to do, which was watch them fail, has now been stripped away from me. Of course it has, because fuck, gaming can't just be left the hell alone. No, it's got to have people come into it who have no interest in gaming. They don't give a shit about video games. They never have cared about video games. They don't fucking play video games. They don't follow video game news. They just want to complain. They want to complain about shit until they get attention, because that's all they're after. And so what great thing have they...
Yeah, but you remember Sarkeesian, she did exactly the same thing, Jim. You were there.
But was that at this time? Around that time period? Was it?
This
Before
would
or
be
after?
roughly around that time frame, but this is
I think
Mighty
it might have been
number
right.
9.
This was right before that, though.
Yeah.
But
But
it was just right before that. Or after. I'm pretty sure.
that is fair. I'll give you that one.
latched onto. Well, the Microsoft
Someone's upsetting.
Yeah.
presentation was up, and holy shit, did you have a plethora of shit to pick from. You could have talked about their Orwellian DRM policies.
Oh, this is when everything was supposed to be hooked to your TV, cable, and whatnot. This is the all-purpose, one-stop shop for everything. And yet no one actually saw this going to be happening in the future. Jeez.
You could have talked about Microsoft agreeing to be the first company in 2007 to go along with the NSA's PRISM program. You could have talked about used game sales and ownership and a new digital distribution model. You could have talked about Force Connect sensor that's always on and always monitoring you. You could have talked about anything. Hell, they finished that press conference off saying it was going to be $499 fucking dollars. That would have been something to get pissy about. So I mean, you have real issues. If you want to get, bitchy about something, fuck, you've got a whole buffet of shit to bitch about. But nope, none of that. They don't care about that. Again, because they're not fucking gamers. A gamer would give a shit about those issues. A gamer would be focused on that. If you go to fucking 4chanV, if you go to
No, Jim, you're wrong. Certain gamers would pay attention to it. Gamers in general, they're autistic. All they see is please, sir, here's money, give me plastic box. I'll do anything. I'll even bend over just for a plastic box. But they do. Nothing's changed.
fucking Reddit or NeoGAF or any other goddamn website that exists, it doesn't matter what it is. That's what they're talking about. Because regardless of the fucking communities these people are a part of, they're actually gamers. They give a shit about the fucking hobby. And so what exactly am I getting at? Well, of course, an issue had to be turned up, right? Something had to come from nothing. And so what's that something? Rape culture. I'm sure if you watched that Microsoft E3 presentation, you saw it. That poor woman on stage.
Rape culture. Oh, I think this is before the Mighty Number 9. My bad.
Being verbally sodomized by a game developer. Oh my god. It was a horrific sexual assault.
Hey, Tumblr.
But thank God all these people who have co-opted my fucking hobby are here to tell everybody about it and to make an issue out of nothing. So, I mean, immediately, within seconds, I think I'm almost convinced at this point that Patricia Hernandez can't write for shit. And I know she's clickbaiting.
Right.
I know that's what she does. I know that's what Gawker and Kotaku are fucking built around. I understand it. When Eric Kane talked about it on Forbes, he was right. Other people have brought it up, and they've been right. That's all these people care about is money and ad revenue and generating clicks. But even amidst E3,
like
the fucking holy grail, right, of gaming, well, kind of, you get the point. Where you've got all this stuff you could write about, you've got all these articles you could put up and get a ton of clicks on. She apparently gets upset and decides, you know what? I'm not getting enough attention. I'm upset that Steven Totillo or whoever the fuck writes for that website, their articles are getting 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 clicks. I need to make something out of nothing. So I'm going to focus on the Microsoft presentation, and I'm going to show it to you. This is terrible video. It's downloaded from a download from a download. I'm just going to play it for you. I want you to pick out the moment that the oppressor of the patriarchal society dominates this innocent woman and uses his phallic joystick to keep her down. Right? Here we go.
Come on, you got to practice before you get on stage in front of millions of people.
I can't even block correctly, and you're too fast.
There we go. Just let it happen. It'll be over soon.
You have a fight stick.
One more.
It's
Wow,
fun.
you like those?
I don't like this.
Apparently you do, because we
Oh
were
yeah,
standing
I mean
still here.
that was it. So I mean, Patricia Hernandez, of course, being a defender of all things women.
Just let it happen. It'll be over
women.
soon.
I'm not sure how you pronounce it with a Y on it.
Wayman.
In fact, I'm not even sure why a
Wayman.
Y is on that. This is for the feminists
Or
out there. Maybe
Wyman.
you could explain this to me. You get pissed off and want to remove the masculine part of the word woman and woman. So you take the E and the A out, and you put a Y in. And you think that's pretty hot shit, right? Like, yeah, way to stick it to the fucking patriarchy, right? That's a real brilliant decision on your part. Here's the thing, though. Y is the sex-linked male chromosome. So essentially, you've taken out the word man and men, and you put the letter Y in there, which is like, I don't know, 100 times more fucking masculine than what you took out. So your feminist replacement word, your gobbledygook, your fucking gibberish, is more masculine now than it was before. So any feminists out there want to clue me in on the brainchild of who fucking thought that genius idea up? Throw that in the comments. I'd love to hear the backstory to that, because that was an intelligent woman. That was a smart feminist. I can't stand these fucking people. Anyway, so she writes this article, and as you can see, in an hour, it has 50 some odd thousand fucking views. Or clicks, or whatever. However, whatever that metric
Thumbs
is,
up.
that's the amount of
Thumbs up.
traffic this article is generating. All right, compare that to any other E3 article on Kotaku, and you immediately see that this is the same shit she always fucking pulls. This woman doesn't give two fucks about video games. It is the same shit these people pull time and time and time again. And so she made an issue out of nothing. So now if you go onto Twitter, right, if you go onto Twitter and you search the fucking words Microsoft rape, you get tweets from everybody. And you're going to notice an interesting trend among those tweets. Normal people are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's normal shit talking during a video game. Crazy people are going to say, oh my god, that's rape culture. And I guarantee you, I will fucking put money on it.
Ian? No, Ian. Why are you here, Ian? Oh, right. He was a feminist way before, Gamergate actually, took flight, and even after it. Though he did kind of change sides midway, but regardless, though he does remind me of the Italians. Anywho,
if you go and look at the comments on Twitter on the tweets that are going out, with rape culture in it and Microsoft in it, those two key phrases, and you go look at the Twitter profiles of the people putting that shit out there who actually believe that Patricia Hernandez is right, you're going to notice a common theme on everybody's profile that buys into this stupid shit. It's going to have phrases like sex positive and gender binary and, feminism and just any buzzword related to sex or gender is going to be on their fucking profile. They're going to adhere to really crazy left-wing shit. All right, these are the people that have co-opted my fucking hobby. So now I can't even watch an E3 in peace anymore. I can't laugh at Microsoft for making perhaps the worst console in history. And, laugh at them for their Orwellian tactics and their horrible sense of business, right? No, now I've got to deal with Patricia Hernandez and a bunch of fucking lace-booted feminists talking about crazy shit that doesn't exist. All right, people shit talk when they play video games, saying, relax and wait till it's over. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh no, that's you don't understand. You go look at. Don't go look at the fucking Kotaku articles. I don't want this bitch getting another click. But if you were to have looked at the Kotaku articles, you'll see people defending this shit. And they're saying stuff like, oh man, that's what a rapist says. You don't understand. Those are words that rapists use. Hey, fuckwit. It's a language. Words are used in conjunction. We randomly align them to create these things called fucking sentences. And occasionally, two different people doing two different things might use the same sentence.
No.
It doesn't mean that it's fucking linked to rape. But these people, they need this shit. They thrive off it. And so you've got this hierarchy that builds up, that's been building up after these fucking people have infiltrated and co-opted gaming, where you've got these people on top that only care about money. That's all they give a shit about. And so they create issues where there aren't any. They stir up shitstorms to get clicks, because all they care about is that bottom line. They get paid per click. That's all they fucking care about. And they know if they have an attention-getting title, they're going to draw people in. And sure enough, what happens? Now you got all these people tweeting this stupid shit. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 2 to 3 days, you're going to see articles on rock, paper, shotgun, on fucking Polygon, on Destructoid. You're gonna have people like Jim Sterling and Movie Bob and all these other
Jim
fucking
Sterling
beta
is no
pussy
longer
whipped
Jim
assholes.
anymore, really.
You know, Ian Miles Chung from GamerRanks. You know, the usual fucking offenders who are gonna crawl out of their hole and are gonna make these big fucking bloated diatribes about how this is terrible. And it's not even just gonna focus on that. Oh no,
Horrible.
you know, right? It wasn't enough to have women on stage, even though she was the victim of a apparent sexual assault. No, there weren't enough female protagonists. That was another big complaint. You know, a bunch of snarky fucking hipster faggots in their black-rimmed glasses tweeting from their iPads. You know, these 20-something fucking walking stereotypes from Gen X or millennials or whatever fucking generation is around now. You know, saying, oh, it's the next gen, man. A real next gen with no female protagonists. Shut the fuck up. You know, put your money where your fucking mouth is. I've been hearing this shit for years now. If you're so fucking offended by it, you fucking special snowflake, don't buy the goddamn games. Or go make your own fucking games and make your own market and then show everybody how fucking right you are. But you don't, because there isn't a market for that shit. And you still buy those games because they're fucking good. You're just looking to complain about something to try to get pussy, and fucking everybody knows it. Do you remember when you were a kid?
No.
I'm talking to somebody who's been gaming since the 80s. So, you know, a long time ago, before all this stupid...
So wait. You talking to a Gen Xer? and early adopted millennials. Wow. Congratulations, Jimmy boy. Not only did you diss us, you also kind of are asking us, do you remember when you were a kid gaming, especially in the 80s? Jesus fucking Christ.
shit. I mean, do you have memories of that time when you used to just play games and they were fun? When you'd read a video game magazine and you know what you'd see in there? Video games.
Uh-huh.
That's what was in the magazine. That made sense, right? It's a fucking video game magazine. You read reviews and import opinions and, you know, sneak peeks and talk about new tech. And that was great. And, you know, the games were fun and you play with your friends and it was a fucking good time. But somewhere along the line, and it's been in the last generation or two, these fucking people have latched onto this hobby and they've perverted it. They've twisted it and just turned it into this disgusting fucking thing that's got this underlying money motivation with fake social justice on top. And it's made to appeal to people who aren't interested in games. All right? You know, people who played games in the 80s and the 90s were fucking nerds, were fucking geeks, were the fucking outcasts. All right? We got dumped on. We got shit on for our hobby. And then you've got all these people now who are acting like it's so hip and so fucking cool. And, oh man, you guys who used to play games, you're all misogynistic and you're terrible and you need to be equality minded and you need to think about female protagonists and, you know, you're rape culture this and rape culture that. Fuck off, man. This is our hobby. We built it, we bought into it, and we built it up. I mean, what fucking choir are you singing to? You're talking to people who grew up in an era of gaming where we had people like fucking Samus Aran, where we had Lara Croft, where we had fucking Zelda and Princess Peach. I mean, you look down on us and you say, oh my god, you sexist fucking pigs. Fuck you. Alright, we played games with female protagonists and we liked them. And you know why we liked them? It wasn't because they were female, but because they were good protagonists. People don't talk about Jade from Beyond Good and Evil, and you know the first thing they harp on is, oh, she's got tits. People only care about Jade because she's got tits. Fuck you. All right, we played Metroid, we played Beyond Good and Evil, we played Tomb Raider and fucking Mario and Zelda because they were good games with good characters. They were well developed. They had nice stories. They had good gameplay. They appealed to us because they were good games. That's what the hobby is fundamentally about. Good games. It's very fucking simple. But you couldn't accept that. You had to come in and create something that wasn't there. You had to make a boogeyman appear. So you could bitch about something. And so you looked at our good games and you said, oh, well, those females, they aren't good enough. You know, they appeal to you, so that must mean they're tainted somehow. Because, you know, you're all terrible people. So, you know, Samus and Zelda and everybody else, they're not good enough, they're not strong enough, they're not women enough for us. So we need you to erase them, get rid of them, and redesign everything from the ground up. And you've got to get rid of all the male characters that you have, because Halo can't be Halo. Right, Master Chief, that's too much testosterone, let's get rid of him and make it nothing but Cortana. And shit. While we're at it, let's get rid of Gears of War. That's too masculine. Too many men in that game. All the shooters. Fuck it. I mean, it's just too many.
Well, they
And
did put a
don't even
woman
get me
in
started
that
on those
eventually.
Japanese games.
Yeah, they did. do that.
Glorious Nippon. All
It didn't really go very well.
No, it didn't.
Just like a certain Call of Duty Battlefield and all that didn't do very well when they put a certain women in there, But he complained earlier that maybe they should make their own game. They have been making their own games, and they're not doing so good. Not doing so good.
they care about are nipples, right? Just go read Jason's article bitching about sorceress with huge titties, because apparently that mind fucked him so much that he couldn't
Jason
function for
Totelo?
a week or two. That blew his mind. Women have breasts. Holy shit! That was a news flash for Kotaku. They ran fucking article after article trying to puzzle through what these giant mammary glands were that were on this woman's chest. They couldn't figure it out. And I mean, he eventually came to the conclusion that women with gigantic tits appeal to pedophiles. I don't know how he figured that one out, but that's the logic he took with it. If you go look at his NeoGAF posts, you'll see that that he's quite adamant. Gigantic, huge tits on older women obviously are made to to appeal to pedophiles.
Nice.
So brilliant, man. It's a fucking brilliant logic, Jason. I'm sick of watching somebody come in and latch onto something they weren't a part of and had no interest in, and that they only started paying attention to when it became popular. All right, these are posers. But they're worse than posers because they're posers with an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
See, a typical poser would, look at a group of, like, let's say, skaters and say, yeah, well, shit, I don't want to skate, but I like how they look and I want to hang out with them. So I'll go buy some, Vans shoes or Airwalks or whatever the fuck skaters wear. I'll go buy a board, wear the fucking clothing they wear, talk about the shit they talk about, listen to their music, maybe smoke pot. And that's, I'll call it a day. And you know what? Fuck it. People could tolerate that because they weren't coming with an agenda. But these people, man, they show up and they say, we're gamers. And then, after you're kind of like, whatever, poser. Then they suddenly say, wait a
Yeah, but with the emphasis on gamer.
second, I'm not done yet. Get rid of all your video games because they don't appeal to me, because everything has to appeal to me. I'm the center of the fucking universe, and it has to be, catered towards me. And fuck the market and fuck demographics and fuck business models. My opinion and my feelings are what matter. And they've just sucked the life out of this industry, and it has just done a fucking tailspin because of this shit. Because game developers and publishers, and even the journalists now, they're all trying to twist and bend to the whims of people who aren't even a part of the actual market, but are just kind of on the the periphery.
Spectrum.
Right, on the outside and want in, but they want in because they want to push forward some agenda, this social justice bullshit, and they're fucking killing my hobby to do it. And so, yeah, I mean, here we go. It's another typical example. Again, here she comes again. Here comes Patricia Hernandez again. Here comes Kotaku again. A gaming fucking website that talks about patriarchy and has had articles talking about how the white males are terrible and how males in general are all rapists and how gaming is disgusting and misogynistic. And who are they appealing to? Right? Kotaku. If you Google them, the first thing it says is video games. Well, I sure as shit haven't seen much about video games since you've got people like Jason and Patricia writing for you, and Tina Amini, or however you pronounce her name. You know what? Here's a fun game. Go look at a Tina article, and see how many of her articles are nothing but a YouTube video. That's what she considers journalism. She'll find some cute little video, put up half a paragraph, and that's it. I mean, shit, I went to, I'm finishing up college to get a real degree, but fuck, if I knew that that's all that journalism was putting up a YouTube video and a paragraph,
Yep.
I'd be a fucking journalist, because that's pretty easy money to me. I don't know what standards these people live by, but fuck it. I guess maybe they look at the Fourth Estate and they say mainstream journalism has gone to shit, so we don't have to have standards, and that's
your problem, Jim. You became a journalist. Now you have cancer. Maybe.
That's how they're modeling themselves. Bang up job, Fifth Estate. You're doing a great fucking job. Way to carry that torch and have ethics and morals and standards. Really good job. Really love the coverage of E3 you're doing. I look forward to whatever manufactured emergency you're going to create tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe you can say that Capcom is racist, and I don't know, Sony beats puppies. Let's see if you can work that in. I'm sure Steven will. I'm sure he can work that in somehow. You know, if you can get offset with Jeff Keighley, and not praise how great the Microsoft Xbox One is, in between shoving Doritos in his fucking mouth and drinking down Mountain Dew. So yeah, that's the video. Fuck video games, right? Who needs a hobby? I'll just fuck it. I'll read books.
One person.
Wow. Wow. Let's see if I could find what I'm looking for.
You ended up being pretty right, though. So
Yeah, no, he did do that. I mean, honestly, it was kind of all over the place. Yeah, this is the Kickstarter one. Just wanted to make sure. I want to make sure. Because, yeah, Mighty Number 9 is mentioned in this, so... All right. I guess it will be the last one before we call it a stream. So enjoy it while you can. This is a lovely Metokur Gaming Sunday, a summer streaming festival that we're doing. We got lots
Summer stream.
I know, right? We got lots to go through. Too much to go through. Hours and hours of it, as you can see. I sped through.
Oodles and noodles.
I know, because I sped through it because that was the SPAX one, and we have the Haberman one that we kind of covered the last time.
Didn't
so, yeah.
he also get sick after this stream?
Yeah, he did.
So it was Gamergate. Gamergate gave him cancer.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, he was a journalist, an inspiring journalist, and he found out that gaming was not only a hobby but a death sentence.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's all because of Twitter, mostly. But yeah, we're gonna do this last one and we get the fuck out of here.
It's a soundtrack of one song, except I'm doing video games, so it's not
Oh, great! Dicks on the dance floor.
exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games. I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making this.
What the hell did you just say?
I'm not a fan of video games.
You full of shit. You understand that? You full of shit.
I'm not a fan of video games. I actually had to learn a lot about video games.
Oh my! What do we have here? This can't be right. Anita Sarkeesian isn't a fan of video games.
I know,
What?
shocker, right?
That can't be correct. That has to be doctored. That obviously is a body double that's been hired by the patriarchy to impersonate Anita and discredit her. I think MRAs are involved. I'm almost certain that men's right activists have somehow pulled this off.
Okay, hold up. I don't remember Dean Esme getting involved in any of this. Yeah, women do that for him. Continuing.
In an attempt to undermine her struggle against the sexist forces of video games. Now that video that's a clip of a video. It was posted yesterday on a YouTube account called Flying Turkeys. It's the only video they have up, but I'll put a link in the description. You can go check it out. It's from a lecture she gave back in 2010. Now that's a little hard to, something doesn't add up, right? Because in her Kickstarter video and all those speaking engagements she's had since her Kickstarter itself, she's told everybody, all those TV interviews, all those, conferences she's been to, all the developers she's talked to, that she's a lifelong fan of video games. In fact, I think in the Kickstarter video, let me see if I can find the clip here.
Video games are so interesting and engaging and interactive. I'm a gamer and I enjoy games. I love games. I'm a fan of games.
I mean, she's a big fan of video games, except that she hates them and doesn't play them. She's not a fan
but the lights weren't
of video
going.
games. She's not. She had to learn a lot about them, which is awkward, because I love video games. That's my hobby. I play video games, and having to learn a lot about them would not be something you would expect somebody who plays video games would have to fucking do. I mean, it has been gangbusters for the last, I'd say, 3 months. It's been one thing after the other that's come out about Anita Sarkeesian. First, we had the blog about her boyfriend and his social justice activities and his opinions on Tomb Raider back in like 2006, and the pyramid schemes that he was involved in, and how Anita was connected to those schemes.
Oh, the other one.
We also had people tracking down the footage she used in her videos that turned out to really be long plays that were mostly posted by people like Cubix55. I'll also post a link in the description to his channel, which really good long plays, right? I mean, there's no problem using somebody else's footage. Except in Anita's case, she didn't credit it. I mean,
Wait. You can use somebody else's footage? I thought YouTube said no. Or is that later in YouTube world? I keep forgetting. We're in a weird time zone. The little timeline is all strange.
if you look at Retsupre, they do commentaries on video playthroughs, not like shitting on Let's Players, but they'll just do normal commentaries over long plays. And a good amount of those come from the Cubics 55 channel. It's a community of long players that post to that, and they credit it and they ask for permission, which is what you would normally do. She didn't do that. The other problem with her taking footage from Cubics and other people on YouTube is that she got $160,000 to go buy these games, and she didn't get her own footage, right? I mean, a capture card is what, $100, $200? I mean, I know Marco, RMake21. He, when he puts videos out there, when he's making videos, he's capturing his own stuff. I mean, it would be bizarre for somebody who makes videos about video games not to capture their own footage. And that's what he does. That's what other people I know do. They capture their own footage, and if for some reason they can't actually capture it, they'll find a source, and then they'll credit the source and say, hey, this is where I got it. But, here's Anita, $160,000 later, and she's captured no footage. But now that sort of makes sense. Because if you don't like video games, why in the hell would you play them? What would your motivation be for playing a video game if you don't actually like them?
I like
this
that word.
This video is not about Anita. There are going to be plenty of people talking about her. They already have, and they're going to continue to talk about Anita. But she's just one problem. She's a symptom of a problem.
No. She's an ongoing,
and that problem is what I want to talk about. Ever since this video came out, in fact, let me back up a little bit. Since the blog posts have been coming out about the stolen footage and her past and her boyfriend, and now with this video as well, the real problem, that she's kind of helping to illustrate are not people like her. These people who have these political agendas and they push it into something where it doesn't belong. A classic example of that, if you want to look at it outside of video games, would be Atheism Plus.
Oh, I remember
I'm
that
sure if you
movement.
talk to people
That
in
was
the
a great
atheist community,
movement.
they can tell you what a huge fucking pain in the ass Atheism Plus is. Right? It's this idea of, we can't just have atheism. We've got to inject social justice into it. We've got to have women's lib in it, and feminism, and all these other things that have nothing to do with atheism. And we're going to call it Atheism Plus. And so you've got, that's a separate example. That's kind of what's happening with video games. You've got these political commentators, these people with this agenda that are shoving it into games for no reason, right? And they're a problem. But what allows that to happen are the people that support them. That's what this video is about. I want to talk about these fucking retards. All right, let me just give you an example before I even get into this of just the people I'm talking about. You saw the video clip. At the start of this video, you can see the whole fucking thing on that other guy's YouTube channel. Again, look in the description. Go watch it. Right? It's fucking cut and dry. It's literally black and white. It's a black and white fucking video. There it is, verbatim, word for word. Her admitting she doesn't like video games. She doesn't play video games. She's not a fucking fan of video games. That is, what more evidence could you need? What else could be given to you to convince you that this woman is a fucking con artist? Everything is there.
Her counting the money.
And yet, for some reason, it's not good enough.
And even then,
these are the fucking people I'm going to be talking about. And so let me show you the crazy world of retards. All right, P.T. Barnum said it best. There's a sucker born every minute.
Twice.
And my God, if he lived in this day and age, if P.T. Barnum were alive today, he would be 1,000 times richer than he ever was in his own day and age. Because social justice activists on the internet are fucking retards. And you can con them out of money, and they will defend you to the death. Let me introduce you to these fucking euphoric retards. Let's cue up that circus music to accompany their retarded opinions, and let me just read off some of these brilliant insights these people have after seeing the video you just saw. This is what they have to say. First up, we've got Naleno. Funny how guys never have to show their gamer credentials, huh? I also like the fact he linked to cries of fake gamer girls have been many and tiresome. Way to fight the patriarchy there, Naleno. Really doing your part there, you beta fucker. Next is Arathane, the level of desperate vitriol accompanied by folks going to extreme lengths to deliver simple ad hominems suggests that women who stand up and say things of this nature are really hitting a nerve. You know what? If there really was nothing much to what these people say, people would just roll their eyes and forget about it. But that's not what happens. The not a real gamer slash techie slash geek slash fan slash whatever is a classic old way of dismissing women in a male-dominated niche fields. Well, Lottie
Need a
fucking
drop,
da
we Jim.
everything. Oh, Bogart. We got a real smug motherfucker. Just rips off a Bogart. I guess I can see that, Jeep. I don't think it damages her credibility enough to invalidate her arguments she's putting forward. I mean, for someone who doesn't like games, her videos on the subject seem accurate and informed, and her arguments are reasonable. The situation was flipped several thousand times. The number of death threats she received was what you'd expect for a woman talking on the internet, which is to say an awful lot.
He wants to be
But
tough.
still, male gamers are the real victims? And all dissenting voices are silenced by the feminist mafia or something? So this invalidates all of her arguments or justifies the avalanche of efflua poured over her since she dared to criticize video games? Real good, Bogart. I hope you get your cookie, you know, for being such a brave boy. Oh, we've got Unique02. It doesn't make her arguments any less valid. You don't need to be a fan of video games to say that the damsel in distress trope is overused in video games. Oh, and this is a brilliant one. Snorkel, of course. Okay, so first up, I'm not a fan of games or anything, but I can't even do it. The second sentence is I'm a gamer. I'm a female gamer, of course. I'm not even gonna do, snorkels. But what really floors me about this one is the third paragraph. So while it's clear that this Anita person is not being honest in all these interviews, I'd actually pick the one where she says she's not a gamer in front of a bunch of her peers to be the lie. Bravo, Snorkel. I mean, this level of stupidity it's in a category of its own. If being a dumb motherfucker were an Olympic event, you would hit the gold. I mean, Reebok and Nike would be having you do commercials, Snorkel. That's how fucking retarded you are. Yeah, straight to the point. It's Zephyrus. Who fucking cares? Yeah, use my proper pronouns. It's Zephyrus. Welcome to NeoGaf. If you don't call me my proper pronoun, you getting banned. Oh, and of course that thread on NeoGaf, it's locked. What were you expecting? 5 replies, shut it down. And this has just been a sample, a small smattering of the posts that are out there since this video came out. And these are all from video game sites, The Escapist and Rock Paper Shotgun, Penny Arcade, stuff like that, NeoGaf, any video game related website you could think of. If you find a thread there in their forums, if they're discussing it, you're going to run into this. And it's not a minority opinion. It's almost, it's almost 50-50. And that's the craziest fucking part about this. I mean, right now in the industry, we have a few crucial problems. One of them is the journalists. And I'm doing air quotes around that because half of the people who write for video game websites don't have journalism degrees. They've never worked an actual journalist. They've never worked in an official capacity in journalism. All right, running a fucking blog isn't journalism. I'm sorry, it's fucking not.
Well,
you can have that debate between the fourth and the fifth estate, and that's great. But brass tacks, at the end of the fucking day, they don't have a journalism degree. All right, they haven't interned anywhere that's worth a shit. And so you've got all these people who are interconnected on Twitter and Facebook, and they spread this shit around. And that's bad enough on its own. But if gamers, the people who consumed what they wrote, if there were pushback from the majority of people who are into games, it would get shut down. But the reason it's not getting shut down and the reason it keeps spreading are people like this. So here's Anita. She's been caught. She has been caught. It's a fucking con job. There's too much evidence now. Her own words, damn her. Her own actions in the past, damn her. The people she associates with, damn her. And it just isn't enough. For them, that will never be enough. They will constantly shift the goalpost. They will constantly change the issue. It's not her fault. It's somebody else's fault. And why are you attacking her? Are you afraid of her opinion? No, I don't give a shit about her opinion. She's a fucking con artist. That makes me dismiss her opinion to begin with. All right? You want to bring up the issue of sexism in games, you better find somebody who's got a little more credibility to do it.
Just a little?
Because she has no credibility left. And you can't say that, oh, you're attacking her instead of the issue. She's the one who brought it up. That's what the thread is about. It's about her being a con artist. Learn to separate the fucking issue. And yet they just don't care. They refuse to acknowledge they got screwed. The people who gave her that money have gotten fucked over. Completely fucked over. She's released what, 2-3 videos in a span of a year now? Do you think, and those were parts of the first video, right? So really, she was going to do what, 13, 14? I have no idea. You're never going to see it's never going to happen. She's never going to finish it.
Well, that is true. That is very true. I mean,
or a shotgun for that matter. Well, maybe a shotgun. Maybe
more shotgun than anything else.
She doesn't care. Now, she doesn't mind going to speaking engagements where she's getting paid to do that. Well, she'll talk and talk and talk about whatever fucking shit she gets paid to talk about. And, game developers who want to try to get good PR with the social justice scene and the LGBTQ LMNOP fucking group, they'll have her come in.
Don't forget
BioWare will talk to her. EA will have her come in. They're going to fucking adjust Mirror's Edge 2 based on her. Think about that.
Yeah.
She's influencing game development. This isn't a hypothetical. She is literally influencing game development. A person who doesn't like video games, who admits she doesn't play video games, who is more interested in putting forward her bullshit social justice agenda and conning people out of $160,000. That's the...
I mean, she did win an award, remember? She won one of those gamings.
Person who's going to decide what a good game is and what a good game isn't. And are you kidding me that people are going to defend her? These are the people that are allowing this shit to continue. It's not just the people putting forward the agenda. That's one problem. It's not just the journalists, yeah, again, air quotes, at Kotaku and other fucking sites like that push it for clicks. That's another problem. The real fucking issue, the ones that are allowing this crap to constantly fucking continue, are the people you just saw, are the people on those forums and on those websites who have influenced the community, who have, ingrained themselves and allowed, this shit to flourish. And go look, they control the conversation is what I'm trying to get at, and that's the fucking problem. A good example of this, at Giant Bomb, when Ben Kuchera was having his little shit fit with the Forbes writer Eric Kane. So Ben, he's writing all this horrible shit on Twitter, talking about getting Eric Kane fired, right? He wants to get him fired because he doesn't like his opinion. And there's a bunch of blowback. People are like, you know what, Kuchera, you're a faggot. You're over the line, you're a fucking retard. So he gets all this shit flung at him. He finally can't take it anymore. He goes to Giant Bomb. And there's a thread talking about what's going on between him and Eric Kane. And he actually makes an account. And he says, hi, I'm Ben Kuchera. I want to tell you my side of the story. And, I'll give the community credit. For the most part, they told him to go fuck himself. But what do you think happened to that thread, right? It gets going. Ben's getting a lot of shit. People aren't buying into what he's saying. And here comes a fucking mod, a brony mod, and they lock the fucking thread down. The best part of that is you get an achievement on Giant Bomb for the first time you have a conversation with a mod. Ben got that conversation achievement right before the fucking thread got shut down.
Okay.
And it just goes to show you, these people get positions in a community, they kiss ass. That's how they get these positions. They become mods, they're community figures, they've had an account for 5 years, and they set the tone. You go to NeoGAF and you talk about, sexism or racism or transphobia, and, you don't use the proper pronouns and the PC language, you're done. You will be banned, your thread will be closed. You go to Giant Bomb and do it, you're done. You will be banned, your thread will be closed. Try it on Kotaku or Rock Paper Shotgun or any other fucking site. These people are an infestation. And this is how dumb they are. They're suckers. I mean, they are suckers. I'm split between hating them for what they're doing to my hobby, right, because they're ruining it, and wanting to just get rich off them because they're that fucking stupid.
I probably
could make it up. I could
option
completely blow smoke up their ass, and they would fucking love it. I could tell them that men are evil, that white people are the devil, and that anything with a penis is a rape machine and it's ruining everything they love. And they would throw money at me. I mean, I'd have to go to the hospital. I'd have so many concussions from getting hit by all the fucking wads of money. They just would.
Well, now you go to the hospital to find out if you give birth or
I
not.
could come out a month after that and say, "You're all retards. I conned you," and they would sit there and say, "Nope, he's a great guy. He didn't con us at all. He's fighting the patriarchy. He's fighting the machine." That is how dumb they are. And it floors me, man. It floors me that these people have a right to exist, that they breathe the same fucking air that I do. That you could present them with any amount of evidence and it just is never enough. It is never enough. They fall back onto their fucking, this form of argumentation, this sophistry that they love so much, where they just can't fucking admit they were wrong. They have to go and regurgitate shit they read on Reddit or Wikipedia and start screaming out fallacies and ad hominem, straw man. That's their favorite retort. And it just, I want to murder them. I want to kill them. I can't
In
take these
Minecraft?
people anymore. They just are driving me insane. And it was one thing when it didn't influence gaming, but it does. Anita is influencing gaming, and it's obvious she's a con artist. And if people aren't willing to fucking accept the evidence that is literally right in front of them and say no more, why even game then? It's done. We are fucking finished. Anybody with an agenda can come forward now. Any agenda at all. I mean, I don't like it because of what's being put forward, but pick something you don't like. Think if it was somebody else not fighting for, equal representation among sexes in video game for some reason. Think if it was some ultra fucking conservative. Some ultra fucking conservative Republican who wanted to do, video games about abortion rights. This video game doesn't talk about how evil abortion is, and there's nothing talking about Jesus. Halo is a terrible game. There's no mention of God's son in it. Imagine that. Imagine watching games go through that kind of a transformation. It's fucking crazy. And it just keeps feeding on itself. That's the craziest thing about it. You've got these journalists, you've got these people with this agenda, and then you've got all these white knights, these betas, that are just desperate for belonging to something and being accepted and being part of the group. And they end up feeding on each other. And to the point where it gets so polluted and so screwed up, how do you undo it? When games like Gone Home that can be beaten in 48 seconds have a higher rating on Metacritic from journalists and gamers than a game that's actually good, what do you do at that point? When you've got people like Total Biscuit on Twitter saying that Grand Theft Auto 5 is a terrible game because there isn't a well-written female character in it. When we've reached this point, what can we do anymore? These people have ruined this hobby. They have taken something that is meant as a form of entertainment and they have strangled it. They've smothered it and all their baggage and all their psychological bullshit, and they just couldn't leave it be. They just couldn't let people play a video game and have fun. It had to have a deeper meaning. It had to be related to their fucking rights causes and their life's goals and ambitions. They took something that was fun and meant to entertain, and they have destroyed it. And the people I've shown you are just a sample of the mentality that's out there. They're on every website. They're a member of every community. It doesn't matter if it's an anonymous one or one where you have a user profile. You're going to find them on Reddit, and you're going to find them on V. They are everywhere. They are a fucking plague on gaming, and they will be its undoing. People talk about a crash coming because of incompetence on the part of companies. It'll either be that or it'll be this. But gaming is going to die, and these are the people that are basically holding it up so somebody can cut its throat. Congratulations.
Yep.
Who doesn't love?
Alrighty, this is the mighty number 9. Alrighty, we will stop here. We will stop here.
He wasn't wrong.
Well, I mean, nothing's really changed over time. I mean, let's be honest. Be frank, as some would say. We thought it would be an earlier death, and it kind of held out.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we're still waiting for Game's death to happen. But yeah, right now, I like the factor that gamers are now just realizing that Nintendo's not the only one that kind of fucked them over when it comes down to not owning a device. Yeah, anybody who owns a console, you don't really own said console. Congratulations. You're actually leasing the console. So yeah, kind of weird how it is. But yeah, Did you guys enjoy the selection?
It was all right.
Yes. I mean, we still have more gaming related summertime events to get through. So, by God, it's a long one. It's a long one, but yes. I'm going to end it here. As I said before, we're going to wrap this motherfucker up, call it a day. As usual, I give these lovely gents their last rites, and we get the fuck out of here. I have no idea if you guys are being sent somewhere on Sparky's end of things, but on my end of things, it just ends. Just like, games in general. So, last rites, people. Since Sparky's muted, I give it to you, Jem.
All right. Vote with your cocks.
Let's see. Not going anywhere, and everyone can fuck off.
Okay. Good night, fuckers. I'm hitting the
Good
button.
night.
What the crap?
Bye.